Good morning, El Paso, and welcome back to AMP El Paso. This is your weekly podcast, and I know I missed last week, and that kind of sucks because it was actually kind of a big weekend for things here in El Paso. Um, so I do apologize for that, for missing. Actually, a really kind of pretty big weekend. Hopefully, you went out to do well. The big kind of event that happened here, of course, being a border town, was the Mexican Independence Day, or El Grito, as most of us know it by. But yeah, I did miss last week. I did try to record on Thursday, but it sucked. So I didn't even post anything. So I'm gonna try to just go ahead and redeem myself this week, and just go ahead and do this one. But yeah, I know. Um, I did miss it, so we'll see. Hopefully, I'm not gonna be missing so many. But I guess it'll happen. And there's no point in recording this on a Friday or Saturday. Just right now, I guess, just because it's still very early stages. But yeah, we'll try to work past it. Um, so yeah, last week was what was it? The weekend of the 14th, 15th, and 16th, 13th, 14th, 15th. That was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, the Independence Day for Mexico was on the 16th, and I didn't actually know this. I kind of did, but it's always been confusing. The actual celebration, I guess, starts on the 15th at night, which was on Sunday, and that has to do with. I don't know all the history of Mexico or the Mexican Independence Day, but apparently the Grito actually started on the 15th at night. So on the 16th, that's when Mexico actually celebrated her actual independence. Which I've actually heard some misconceptions about the Independence Day here in the U.S. as well. Just when it actually became official. I think it was. I don't know if it was after or just before the 4th, but everybody it got around to everybody on the 4th. But it's all historical, and most of we just pick a date. Kind of like what we do with everybody with every other every holiday, kind of like Christmas. How people know specifically where Jesus was born on the 25th. But I don't know. That's something that I guess it's open to speculation from everybody, but it doesn't matter. We all kind of have the holidays, and as long as we just kind of enjoy the holidays, I think we all know when the big ones are: Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the Independence Day, and all the other great days that you get off work. Which is really all anything holidays are, just an excuse to get off work. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with the events for this week. This weekend is gonna be starting Thursday, the 19th of September. We're almost getting close to. We're still toward the middle of the month. I guess we still got about a couple weeks until the month is over. But yeah. So this weekend is going to be Thursday the 19th, actually, Friday the 20th, Saturday 21st, and Sunday the 22nd. And I'm actually going to start on Wednesday, which hopefully you'll be listening to this Wednesday morning, because that's actually when I did want to have one of the kind of the events I do enjoy kind of a lot is one of the concerts that I like is Buck Cherry. He comes over to the it's the band. I always thought it was the guy. His name is Buck Cherry, but no, it's actually the band Buck Cherry. They're gonna be at Speaking Rock on Wednesday, And I had that right here somewhere. But yeah, usually their concerts, they're at Speaking Rock. They're free, and that's actually, I think, kind of the first one that does happen. And like every other Speaking Rock concert, there's usually, I mean, you can get some food. They have their outdoor sales, and they have food and burgers and all their beer and everything, and people actually just enjoy walking around. And it's pretty good to for a band like Buck Cherry, it's actually pretty good to arrive there pretty early, because I know that place, and with that band, it does get pretty full. And I mean, it's good music. The guy's pretty wild. Their frontman, the singer, he gets pretty wild, and it's actually a pretty good band to go watch. Buck Cherry, I feel like they're pretty underrated. I mean, I think it's kind of a big deal. They've been going for a long time now. But yeah, it's one of those cool bands, and that's actually where we're getting started. And that's going to be starting around 7. But like I said, it's always pretty good to get there a little bit earlier. You could catch the opening act there at the Speaking Rock. And as usual, the bands that usually open for the bigger bands that come in to Speaking are actually pretty good. And also, one of the bigger events that is also going on, and this one, you probably heard about it on the radio. I don't know if they advertise on TV. I mean, I guess I've stopped watching a lot of TV, as when I was a little kid. Which, if you're listening to this podcast, hopefully is AMP, which is Art Millennium Podcast for El Paso. Chances are, if you're a millennial, you probably, just like me, grew up watching TV before school, weekends in the mornings, and now you probably don't watch TV at all. Probably whatever your parents, grandparents, or your older people in your family, they're the ones that probably still watch the TV. But I'm pretty sure we've all gravitated, all of us millennials, and even the younger kids. They're all watching just anything streaming, with just Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, the regular ones. YouTube. I know little kids just go crazy on YouTube. But yeah, but I know some of these events, you do probably hear about them on the radio. I actually listen to the radio quite a bit, just because I drive all day. So I do end up listening to a lot of the radio, and I kind of enjoy it. It makes your time go up by, if you're working, if you're allowed to listen to the radio when you're at work. And the big event that's been having a lot of kind of talk this week has been Beer Bites and Beats, and that's going to be at Dead Beach. And I do know that this event is mainly on the weekend, because that's when we all like to go out and drink. But apparently it starts on Wednesday, and it starts Wednesday night, and it starts off with I guess all the bars right there by Dead Beach and downtown have maybe some of their promotions and stuff. And that's always pretty nice to go out there and enjoy some of their local craft beers, which are actually pretty good. We've actually tried probably all of them by now. I don't know unless they've recently had some newer ones, and it's always good to go try some of the local beers. So yeah, that's gonna be go ahead and starting Wednesday. So, but usually I like to stick to Thursday, because I've started noticing that I don't want to go too long. I do want to make it kind of interesting, entertaining, and talk to you guys a little bit. Just so, the time goes by, whatever you're doing, if you're at work or if you're just chilling or whatever you're doing while you're listening to this podcast. But yeah, I'm starting. Originally I was going to focus around the weekends, and for now I'm still kind of doing that. But right now I'm doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is Thursday 19th of September, Friday the 20th, Saturday the 21st, and Sunday the 22nd. So also on Thursday, moving on to Thursday, one of the first events that we have right here is and I'm probably gonna miss. I mean, not probably. I know for sure that I do miss a ton of events, which you should always still look at just events that you can do or things that, I mean, I know people have different things that on the weekends we enjoy doing with our families and things that we already kind of have kind of as a normal thing. But it varies from different people to different people. But again, this podcast Amp El Paso was made for people from El Paso, people that love El Paso, people that are proud to be from El Paso, just like me. But it is also made with the mentality, or I did it in mind with the people in mind that kind of say that there's not a lot of stuff to do in El Paso, because we are actually starting to get pretty saturated and pretty busy. And I mean, it's pretty obvious, and everybody I'm sure has already noticed that El Paso's starting to grow. And it's both good and a bad thing, but we should still go out and enjoy it. I like to be lazy, I like to stay home too, but I mean, it's always nice to go out and be able to do some stuff. So one of the first art things that is going on Thursday is going to be, Thursday still people have to go to work on Fridays and everything. So a lot of events don't start Thursday mornings, just because it's not, I mean, it's still a work day pretty much. So the first one that I found here was, it's going to be in San Elizario, I believe, and it's going to be at the Adobe Horseshoe Theater, Adobe Horseshoe Theater, and it's going to be Noche Bohemia. And that's pretty much going to be just poetry, some live music, some art. It's kind of an outdoorsy event, and that's going to be at San Elizario, right there, just on their main street off of, I believe it's Socorro. Is it Socorro? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it's, if you're going, east on Socorro, and you'll just hit Main Street right there, and it's a little downtown for San Nelly right there. And that's going to be starting at 7 p.m. at the Adobe Horseshoe Theater. And if you're going to be closer to, well, probably not downtown, but, closer inland into El Paso, the comic strip is going to have their weekly, I guess, comedian, and this weekend they're gonna have Leo Flowers, and he's gonna be there. I think he's gonna be here all weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think he's doing 2 shows. He might be doing 2 shows on Saturday and Sunday. I know for a fact he is. But yeah, that's gonna be at the comic strip. And that's going to be Leo Flowers. So, with comics, it's always pretty usual. You just go online, go to YouTube, and look up some of their material. That way you could kind of know what to expect. Okay, so then that's going to be going on at 7:30 at the comic strip. So then after that, you can go ahead and back to Speaking Rock, and go enjoy some music on Thursday night. A little bit later, that's going to be going on at 9. There's going to be a concert, and this is going to be Black Velvet. And I looked them up a little bit online, and they're technically, I guess, the way Speaking classifies their bands, this one is classified as a variety band. From the look of it, from what I kind of heard on their some of the videos that they have up, it's kind of like this mellow kind of rock. So if you like that, just go out and chill out there at their little concert area in Speaking Rock on Thursday. And that's gonna be pretty short for Thursday. Just a couple things to go out and kind of start getting into these cool nights. That it's starting to getting cool at night, which is awesome. So now on Friday we are gonna start. I think we're going to start winding down on all of the farmers markets. Obviously, the one on Friday, this is going to be the one at the fountains at Farrah's, right off I-10. And that's going to be starting at 5. I don't know. I mean, they're probably winding down. I know some of the other farmers markets start. Actually, they start coming to an end in September. So as soon as September ends, farmers markets end. So this weekend they're still going to be having the one at the fountains there at the Fountains at Farrah, right off of I-10, which I'm pretty sure everybody already knows. And then this is going to be a new event that I saw. This is going to be at the El Paso Art Association. That is 500 West Paisano. And this is going to be pretty much an El Paso Strong art exhibit. For the events that happened here at the beginning of August, to a lot of people, maybe are starting to kind of move on with what happened, and they're able to start kind of feeling a little bit better. But to the people that were directly affected, this is going to be still a very long process for them to be able to live with this. So we are still going to be having, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're never going to stop having these events, or at least not for a very long time, as well we should. It is something very important that we all have to keep in mind. So this is going to be the event for the El Paso Strong kind of hashtag for this weekend, and that is going to be 5:30 at the El Paso Art Association. That is 500 West Paisano, and this is going to be free, and I do believe they're going to be fundraising, so they're just going to be asking pretty much for donations, which that's actually one of the things that I'm probably going to start getting into. Here in El Paso, we're very diverse, and we're very loving, and that's one of the things that these events that happen here in August, it just reassures everybody from here. We all have our differences. We have the problems that we have here in El Paso, but in spite of all of that, we just have this crazy loving and really, really close community. And it's just, I mean, that just reassures you. To me, on weekends, even, during the week when you see people just going about their normal things, we just have this feeling in El Paso that in no other place really has it. So that's one of the things that it keeps me very proud of El Paso, and I think it's one of those things that makes El Paso strong. Really, it's not, the hashtag's not for nothing. So yeah, that's gonna be for the victims of what happened that day. So then also again on Friday the 20th is gonna be this event that always confuses me for some reason, and I will probably never understand. I'm pretty sure it's a lead up to October, but we're gonna have our first, or not first, but we're gonna have the Fort Bliss Oktoberfest, and that's going to start Friday at 6 at the Biggs Park there inside Fort Bliss. You are going to have to get inside Fort Bliss unless it changed recently. But yeah, they're going to have, basically Oktoberfest is the bratwurst, the food, the beer. I do know they have different packages and prices, and you can get your own what is it, Stein, or those big mugs, and I'm blanking on the name right now. But yeah, that's actually going to be going on all weekend. And Oktoberfest is pretty big. I don't know why or how, but it is. So, go out and have a good time. And also, if that's going to be too big of a thing and you want to have something a little bit more chilled, this is an art podcast, and I'm trying to just promote the art here in El Paso. And another event is going to be going on Friday at 6:30 on Brew Lab, and that's actually close to downtown in El Paso. That is Brew Lab. And this is pretty much going to be the event is called Poetry Therapy. And it's pretty much going to be you could bring a poem or something to read, and you can enter a raffle. And you would get some books and some gift cards. And that's actually Brew Lab at 601 North Oregon. And that's I know it's like a kind of one of those apartment buildings, and it's at the ground floor. So if you want to go see some poetry and stuff, you can go out and do that. And then what is it at 7? This one I'm not too sure exactly what kind of music it is, but it is a Latin pop and reggaeton concert, and that's going to be going on at the El Paso Coliseum. And the girl's name is Natasha. And that's pretty much all I have on that, because I don't really know. All I know is reggaeton. So that's pretty big. I mean, there's people that like that kind of music here in El Paso. It's really not so much my cup of tea, but it's still music that's still considered art, so you should go out and still do it. And again, on Saturday or Friday, there was also going to have the comedian Leo Flowers at the comic strip. And that's pretty much it for Friday. And of course, there's always the regular stuff that you can go out. You can go out dancing, and you can go out to the usual venues that have music. But that's going to be kind of the ones that I kind of highlighted on here. Let me see. And then let's see. Saturday morning. Saturday is going to be, actually, it's a big weekend. It's a big weekend, I think, primarily because it's starting to get cold. Not cold. It's starting to get cool. It's starting, even during the day, it's kind of nice out. I actually get really, really hot. So whenever the weather starts changing, I love it. And part of me loves it. Part of me hates it because I start getting my nose all stuffy and everything. But I still enjoy, just the changing weather. It's probably just the cold weather. The cooler weather is just my favorite time here in El Paso, especially because we are, crazy hot most of the year. Which is nice for, riding your bike. And that's one of the things that I do enjoy. So on Saturday, again, Saturdays and Sunday mornings, weekend mornings, are good days for farmers markets. And I know these two are winding down, and that's going to be the Ardovinos Desert Crossing. And that starts at the Ardovinos, Plaza or Center, over by the west side, and that starts at 7:30. And I know those guys do like to get there nice and early. And right now you have to go out there probably maybe with a very light coat or something like that, and then probably as soon as the sun starts coming out and it starts getting pretty warm, a little earlier, I guess. So that's going to be at 7:30 at Ardovinos Desert Crossing, the farmers market out there. And then a little bit later at 9 is the downtown farmers market. And again, all of these farmers markets are going to start winding down just for the cooler weather. And this week, they're going to have a women's hike in Waco tanks. Again, and that's, just a good way to keep healthy. But, even though it is cool at night and starting to get cool in the mornings, it still gets pretty hot out there. So you just go prepared, ladies, and go out and be active and all that good stuff. This is one that I didn't really know what it was. I actually read up on it a little bit. And Ascarate is going to be having this mental health awareness walk. And I think that one's free. And they're also collecting donations. And I think it's called NAMI walks. Something like that. And that's pretty much, they're going to be raising money for mental health awareness. So this is another one that I saw, and this is probably not so much art, but it is something that I think is pretty cool, especially with we all hear on the news global warming and social media and all that stuff. One of the things that people encourage is to just plant some trees, get some plants, and all that. I know it is kind of hard here because we live still in the desert. But still, there are some things that do. There are some fruit trees that we can grow here. That way, you could get, grow your own fruits and stuff like that. And it's always pretty nice to be able to eat something that you grew in your own garden or in your own backyard. And there's always kind of a learning process that goes with that. But this event that I thought was kind of cool, and it's called what is it? I mean, it's pretty much just a fruit tree like class kind of thing, and that's over at Tech H2O, I think that's what it's called. And that's actually on 10751 Montana Avenue, right by the just before you get to the golf course. And this is pretty much going to be like a little class to teach people about the trees and how to grow them and how to care for trees that you can actually grow some fruit and stuff here in El Paso, which actually that sounds pretty interesting to me, just because I've been wanting to do I would like to eventually make a little garden, maybe get some fruit tree, and hopefully get some fruit that I could say that I grew myself. Also, with the nice weather coming up, we're gonna start seeing these corn mazes coming on, and the first one that I came up on was La Union corn maze, and that's over on the west side, just outside of El Paso, I believe, just right there on Anthony. And I don't know if the one on the lower valley opened, the one there by the fields over on North Loop and the I-10, something like that. I'm not sure if that one opened. I think that might have already opened. But yeah, I mean, this weather, oh man, I lost my train of thought. The corn mazes. That's what starts around this season. There we go. So yeah, just look out for those. And like I said, I'm sure there's going to be probably more that I miss, but that's the one that actually came across here. One of the other things that I saw here for Saturday, pretty early on Saturdays, is going to be at the International Art Museum, close to downtown. The International Museum of Art, that's 1211 Montana Avenue. They're going to be showing this Polish film. It's part of their International Film Festival. And the film is Jack Strong. And from the little bit that I read about it, it's I think it's a CIA spy. So if you're into that, and it's a movie, and I think it might be free. I don't know if they charge to go inside the museum. So then later up on that Saturday, this Saturday the 21st, Alamo Drafthouse is going to be having a Willy Wonka party, and I know they are going to be showing the old movie. Was it the first one? There's only two, right? They're probably an older one, like an obscure, like 30s one or something. So yeah, this is gonna be the at 2:30 in the afternoon. It's gonna be the the Gene something guy. The 1971 movie, and it's pretty much their party. And you know how Alamo Drafthouse does their things. It's gonna be you could dress up and all that good stuff. They're probably gonna have all the candy and maybe some special stuff associated with the movie, and that's gonna be from 2:30. That's gonna start at 2:30. And I know that I don't know how they're gonna do this, but back to back. I know they're gonna show that movie also later that night around 7:30, and in between those two showings, between 3 and 7 p.m., They're gonna have the Fem Frontera Filmmaker Showcase, and that's it. Pretty much highlights, I think, female central movies here in the borderland, and that's both Juarez and El Paso. And that's pretty much what this podcast was for. I mean, it's art, it's movies, it's here in the border. That's going to be going on also at the Alamo Draft House. Saturday. Saturday is going to be the actual start for the festival thing, where they have all the vendors and all that of the beer bites and beats from Dead Beach Brewery, beer bites and beats, and that's going to be starting at 3. And I don't know how many years they've been. It's probably not too many. I think it's probably 3 or 4 years that they've been doing it, and it's actually pretty nice. And it's one of the kind of the downtown El Paso things that happens, and it's actually a pretty decent event that happens on down there. That's going to be starting at 3 right there on the Dead Beach Brewery and that little area, and that's on Saturday. So on Saturday we're going to keep going on with the Fort Bliss Oktoberfest. That's going to be starting at 6. Starting to wind down on the sun, starting to get nice and cool. That way you could go out there and continue your Oktoberfest, which I still don't understand. But it's beer and it's bratwurst, it's food, so you could go out and it's giant. It's like a gallon of beer, and those giant. You get the giant. What do they call it? The giant mugs. It's gonna be going on at the Biggsfield there inside Fort Bliss. And also continuing on Saturday, the comic strip is going to have, probably amongst with others, they're going to be having Leo Flores. And that's going to be at the comic strip right there off of I-10. Let's see. Well, this is the one I don't know why I missed this one when I was doing my little setup here. This is going to be a Sun City Rise benefit art show. That's going to be going on Saturday also at 7 p.m. That's going to be going on at 1931 Myrtle Avenue. And that's pretty much also a benefit art show for the victims of what happened here in August 3rd. They're going to be getting donations as well there, and it's all going to be going to the Community Foundation Victims Fund. And they're going to be having just local art. They're going to have all your El Paso Strong merchandise. They're going to be some live music. I don't think they have a lineup yet, but they will be announcing that. And there's always going to be food and drinks out there. And of course, go support our beautiful community down here. But yeah, for some reason I missed that one when I was getting all these up going up on here. So yeah. Also, let me see. There it is. The Forum Theater is going to be having a Midsummer Night's Dream. And that's also one of the Shakespeare plays, the originals. And that is 9570 North Gateway Boulevard, the Forum Theater. And that's going to be starting at, what is it? No, on Friday is going to be starting. Oh, it's actually on Friday. I don't know why I missed it. No, there it is. Yeah, so it's going to be Friday at 8, Saturday also at 8, and Sunday at 2:30. Always Sundays is always good for a matinee. And that's going to be going on at the Forum Theater. It's going to be a Midsummer Night's Dream. And also on Saturday, winding down toward the night, it's going to be, this is actually kind of a popular band, is Fozzy. And they have the frontman is the wrestler, Chris Jericho, I believe. And I think I just heard something about him, something that had to do with it. And you may correct me if I'm wrong. I think he had just something that happened with his like his belt, like somebody stole his belt or something like that. And I mean, he did this. I think it might have been him. If it's not, then I'm just showing how much I pay attention to that. But I'm actually more of a fan, and I'm sure as most of you will agree and understand, being from here, El Paso, the borderland, I'm actually a little bit more a fan of the lucha libre. And there's nothing wrong with the what is it, WWE? And over the time since I was younger, I know I've seen all those WWs change. It was WCW, WWF, and WO, and all those things, and now it's WWE. But like I said, it's not. I mean, it's not wrestling. It's the band. It's the band Fozzy, and that's Chris Jericho's band, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to be going on at Speaking Rock this Saturday, and that's going to be starting at 9. But as always, with any other concert in any other venue, show up nice and early, get your spots nice and close to the front, and give some love to the. Usually, when it's the opening bands are local bands, so give some love to the local bands, of course, because this is actually what your AMP El Paso podcast is all about. It's going to be about our local things here in El Paso, eventually in Juarez as well. But that is what AMP El Paso is specifically for. Just all local artists, local art, and everything that just draws millennials close. And don't forget to find me on Twitter. I am starting to be a little bit more active on there. And that's going to be at AmpEPTX. And that's also on YouTube, AMP El Paso. If you could find me there, I'll be uploading this on there. And I'll be putting the links on everything. Starting to get a little bit better on that. All right, so moving on. There's one of the other things. One of the cool kind of starting. Obviously, Halloween is just around a couple corners. So from here on out, it's all. If you've managed to go shopping anywhere. If you haven't seen all the Halloween stuff, you've probably seen the Christmas stuff. So just before, we're still on the Halloween. And of course, for me, that I enjoy all those little holidays that are back to back to back. It seems almost like every 2 weeks. You still take the time to enjoy your Halloween. If you go out, take your kids. If you go out yourself, go out and have, a costume party and all that good stuff. And right now, we're starting to get the little, the haunted houses, the corn mazes, the ghost stories, ghost tours and stuff. And the one that is going to be going on this Saturday is that the Concordia Cemetery, and it's going to be a ghost and gravestones tour. And that actually starts pretty late. Well, on a Saturday. It's going to be at 9 also. And that's going to be at the Concordia Cemetery, and I do know that they do charge for that, and I think it's close to like $10-15. But yeah, that's going to be at the Concordia Cemetery, and that's going to be a ghosting gravestones tour. I'm going to have to hit pause here for a second. All right, I'm back. So, so that's going to be the Concordia Cemetery Ghost and Gravestones Tour at 9. And also on Saturday, we, of course, have at the comic strip, Leo Flowers there at performing his comedy. So then we go ahead and move on to Sunday. And, actually Sunday, for it being as nice as it is outside, Sundays are going to start being kind of nice to go out. Probably most of the day, and get home at a decent time, and get ready for it just seems like all these holidays that are coming up just come every like 2 weeks, and then there's always like an extra day in between for some reason in the week. Like what is it? Labor Day just went by also, where you get a holiday, and then every 2 weeks you get like an extra day off or something like that. Like you get a random Friday, and that's not to be said for some of you guys that miss like a day in between the week. if you want to BS a day off or whatever. So yeah, anyway, so Sunday the 22nd, starting a little bit, not too early, I guess, but still fairly early. That way you don't start getting bad habits and wake up super late on a Monday. 9 in the morning, we're going to have the Upper Valley Farmers Market. And that's in front of the Hobby Lobby over on Mesa. And this is going to be one of the last ones. Probably maybe a couple more. So yeah, that's, if you still wanted to go, if you didn't go all summer, make sure you still have a couple more to go out there. It's going to be the Upper Valley Farmers Market over on Mesa, right in front of the Hobby Lobby parking lot. And then over at noon, they're going to have this event called Art and Mimosas, which that would probably get my sister and my girlfriend pretty excited, because who doesn't like to drink in the morning? Especially if you get an excuse like art and all that good stuff. And that's going to be going on at Flor de Barro Gallery. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I heard the woman, I don't want to say lady because I think she's younger, and I don't want to offend anybody, but this is going to be going on at the Flor de Barro Gallery. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they're the ones that I heard on NPR, and they were talking about where some of their pottery and ceramics come from, and it's pretty interesting. I actually did go in their website, and I did see some of the stuff that they have on there, and it is pretty nice stuff. It's it's nice in the sense that you can appreciate the artistic effort that went into it. So yeah, that's going to be going on at noon in Flor de Barro Art Gallery, and that's again 6721 Westwind, and that, if I'm not mistaken, is close to downtown. And then also, if depending if you're on different sides, hold on, I'm gonna have to hit pause here really quick. Man, I feel like I've had so many interruptions today. That's why I couldn't record on a Friday. Starting to get sick and trying to record, just being constantly interrupted. Let's see, where was I? Let me see. Yeah, there's gonna be a tour over in San Elizario. So everybody's going to that Art and Mimosas, right? Oh, it was nice excuse to go out and drink. So yeah, so San Elizario is gonna have a let me see, where is it? Well, I guess I'll just go off my notes. There it is. It's a San Elizario Historic District Tours. And that's also over there on Main Street, which we did hear that there was another one. There was another event on Thursday. And that's going to be around the same place. That's going to be right in front of the Main Street Mercantile. And they're actually going to have some historic tours. And it's actually 2 of these tours. And I think those are free guided tours. You walk with a little group of people, and it's pretty slow pace, pretty comfortable, maybe to take your parents, your grandparents, just anybody that's interested in the history, and to go see the missions out there. And this is going to be in front of the Main Street Mercantile, and they just expect you to be out there just a few minutes before noon, and again, they're going to have another one at 3. And pretty much self-explanatory. It's a slow-paced guided tour there. So yeah, that's going to be going on also Sunday. And also, Alamo Drafthouse is going to be having a Rambo movie marathon. I know there's going to be a new Rambo movie, so of course that's what this is going to be kind of following. So Alamo Drafthouse, starting at 11, there's going to be a Rambo movie marathon, and I'm assuming they're going to be playing probably some of those movies in chronological order. So in order, pretty much. And also, if you don't want to go watch a movie, there's going to be a little event at the Lincoln Park. And that's actually kind of going to be like I think it's a Chicano Latin art exhibit kind of event. And it's pretty much the Lincoln Park Day. And they're going to have a car show. There's going to be some danza azteca from what I see here. And Lincoln Park is 4001 Durazno Avenue, I believe. Is it Avenue or Street? Well, anyway, it's at Lincoln Park. You know where it's at. So then also on a Sunday, of course, is going to be the did I already mention that? Upper Valley Farmer Market. It's going to be starting at 9 or at 11. 9 or 11. It's just going to go all morning. And of course, the forum is also going to be having the matinee of Midsummer's Night's Dream. And then later at night, well, not later at night, but heading down, starting to wind down for the evening. Salem Park is going to still be having their mariachi nights on Sundays. This is going to be kind of a bigger event that I did see. This next one coming up is going to be Cruz Ascarate, and I have seen this one advertised quite a bit, and it actually looks pretty cool. And that's going to be Cruz Ascarate. That starts at 5. I mean, it's $2 to get inside the park, and that's pretty much welcome all. Come one, come all. That's going to be. Oh, do you hear that? It's probably a bike. So yeah, it's going to be at 5 Cruz Ascarate on Sunday the 22nd. Let's see. And then at 7, Speaking Rock is going to be having another concert. This one is going to be Lucky Girl, and that is more of a pop rock group. And of course, last but not least, the comic strip is going to have Leo Flowers once again. And I think this is the night he's doing 2 shows. The one that I have here is at 7, and I think he's doing another one later that night, maybe at 9:30. And with that is pretty much the events for this weekend. So go out, have a good time. Don't forget to follow me on, I think I already updated the Facebook page. And that's also going to be AMP El Paso on Facebook. The page that's AMP EPTX. That's at AMP UTX on Twitter. Also AMP El Paso on YouTube. So just go ahead and follow and do that. But yeah, this is going to be pretty. This one was kind of a weird one. I know it was. Kind of long in the middle and just kind of tapered off toward the end. But yeah, go out, have a good time, be safe, look out after each other, and of course, support your city, and let's keep El Paso nice and safe and beautiful, and let's keep El Paso strong. So with that, I'll catch you guys next week. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.